All right, folks, we're gonna check on the mushrooms, and I actually see something pretty cool. Tactical, can you zoom in on what's going on with the fruiting blocks that bloomed last week? Look at this. Looks like they're starting to rebloom. This one in particular, which is the blue oyster, has a second flush. Now this one down low here, if you come here, this one already had its second flush. I might be able to soak it and trick it into a third flush, so we'll try that. But if not, then I'm burying this in my garden for... Folks, we are gonna get started with showing you how to prepare a fruiting block from Northspore that I got. This is lion's mane. So when you arrive, it comes like this. I actually left this in a dark place to get more of the growth in there. And now I want to put it in the Martha tent to hopefully give us some lion's mane. So first of all, it comes with this piece of tape on it, which you can save it and use it later. So I'm just going to put that to the side. And then when you open it up, there's this vent right here that allows oxygen in. So what I'm doing is folding it over this way to allow the oxygen in, right? And then I tuck these sides because I want as little air as possible there. And tuck those sides and try to get all the air up and out. Okay, that's my goal. And then, whoop, whoop, I tape this down the other way. And what I've been doing is sort of using the tape as a hold air out thing. Why am I doing that? It's to prevent the side blooming. Okay, so for the lion's mane mushroom, you want multiple holes on top. So I'm just gonna do an X there. Cut. It's okay to cut into the substrate a little bit. This will let the lion's mane come out. This is fun. You can do it however you want. Some people do 4. And then I'll bring it over here to the Martha tent. This is pink oyster, and it gets prepared a little bit different than lion's mane. This one, you just do a big X on the top. And then I like to spray a little water. We're going to put it in the Martha tent. Before I got the Martha tent, I was trying to grow mushrooms in buckets and things, and I was having a lot of trouble, partially because it's experimental and less sterile. What I was doing, I was mixing coffee with wood chips, and I'll get back to that, but then I realized I need to just grow the mushrooms first. So the Martha tent does something really cool. This is a humidity controller, so I have it set between 75 and 95, and you can see it's misting right now because I have the door open, so it's losing humidity. And then this is the controller for a fan, which is down behind there, and it circulates air through there so we keep enough oxygen because we need to get the CO2 out of here that the mushrooms are breathing. And then inside the tent, this is the shelf where I put my new mushroom blocks that have only bloomed 0 times. They're about to bloom once. This one has bloomed 1 time, and I'm waiting for the second bloom to really get going. And then down here under the lights, I have one that's in its second bloom at this point. When these up on the second shelf start blooming, I'll bring them down there as well, just to give them a little bit more light. But this is on a 12-hour timer, so they get indirect light. And the one thing you need to keep up on is making sure there's water in here, which I filter so we don't have any chlorine in there. This will go about a week at my house before it needs water. I filter it, and then it just runs itself. I check in once a day to see who's blooming, and then I spray them with straight up filtered water here just to keep them, moist and happy, and the door falls. And that's it. It's that easy. It's 1 week later, and we're gonna check in on these mushrooms that we recorded last week. So coming to the Martha tent, you just unzip the door. This is so phenomenally easy. And I see it's holding steady at 87. So this is the mushroom block I told you had already bloomed twice. It hasn't given me any love. I'm gonna take this to my garden. So we'll just put that aside. But this one's already bloomed once. And we're starting to get a little bit of new here. So hopefully it'll go again. We'll see. There's a little bit of doobity-doo there. Doobity-doo is the official word, you know. No, actually, this one's already bloomed twice. This is the third bloom starting. Look, right here. So I'll take my trusty spray bottle, and I'm going to actually move this one back down to the light, down low. But check this out. These are the blocks that I showed you how to do fruiting with. So this is lion's mane and pink oyster. And I saw that they had started blooming, so I'm just giving them water. Mushrooms are water, lots of water. And then this is a fruiting block that's already bloomed one time. And I'm just moving them down to the light. So we'll put them like to be neighbors. Now, if you have the Martha tent without lights, that's fine too. You can light it with ambient light. I just happen to have greenhouse lighting, so I put it down low knowing I can move it to give them a little bit of a light boost. The other thing I do once a week or twice a week is check the water level here in the humidifier, and it's looking good, so I'm not going to top it this week. But what I'm doing with the mushrooms in the tent here, zoom in on those, they double in size every day about from here. And when they stop doubling in size each day, then I'll harvest them. We're about a month in on using the Martha tent. I've already gone through about 6 blooms from my initial fruiting blocks, but this makes growing mushrooms very easy. It's just set it and forget it. And that's been really good for me to learn the mushroom growing cycle, because most of my background has been in foraging and not in growing. So we're going to be branching out as we move into the next phase, but also I'm keeping these blocks moving to see if we can start selling some mushrooms locally. We'll keep you posted on that.